Alright guys, welcome back. Let's continue on this setup. So where we left off was, where did we leave off? So let's see, let's figure out where we left off and let's continue. Okay. Let's go to projects. Proposition, is it this one? Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, so where we basically left off was, for some reason cal.com was rate limiting us. Not sure why I was doing that. I don't think I was hitting it too much. And also we were trying to get the landing page to work and show the cal.com setup, which it was not. So at this point, we're going to work on these things. We're going to try to set this up. I'm going to start a new Claude window because this context is very big. So let's say so we'll ask Claude for a prompt because this prompt is kind of growing. And I notice it's starting to slow down and deprecate a little bit. So let's go project1aibuilds.com, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I will get rid of this API key that you guys are seeing here because you should not see an API key. All right, let's copy this. And let's do a new window. Okay, so the first things we got to do is we have to make sure that cal.com is not limiting us. Okay, got the full picture. So cal.com, we want to embed that, see the calendar, resend DNS records, and the edge function update. So what item is pending? What do you want to work on now? So I want to see that calendar in our landing page, which for me is like the most important thing. I want to see that working. So let's say that I want to see this calendar in our UI and functional and working. So I guess this context is coming up to speed, reading some files. I guess it's running a script. It's looking at the code. So let's see what it does. I think, so here's where I get mixed up between Claude and the CLI. Sometimes Claude will make the changes itself, and I think that's what it's doing here. It's reading the code and it's going to make the change itself. I prefer to have Claude CLI do it because I feel that Claude CLI does do a better job. So let's see what it does here, and then if it doesn't work, I'll jump over to Claude CLI and I'll have Claude CLI do it also. If we can't fix it with 1 or 2 tries now, I'll open up a new prompt with Opus. Opus is a much stronger model, and Opus may just very quickly see why that calendar is not showing. So let's see. What I don't like is that cal.com rate limited me, meaning it thought I was sending too many requests. I really wasn't, and as far as I'm concerned, I wasn't sending any request. So that's a concern. Maybe my code is sending more requests than I think it is. So let's just see how it goes, and we'll fix it. But right now, as you can see, Claude is running a long command, and I think if I were a guessing man, I think it's actually looking at my files and it's actually probably trying to make a fix in my files. So while this is working, let's go over to Netlify So if we go to Netlify, last hour 139 requests. So in Netlify, I bought a domain, One AI Builds. Okay, so they are absolutely correct. The folder, my system, is not mounted to this project. So let's go ahead and add a folder. I'm gonna make this bigger. And let's go to my project. And let's add a folder here, choose folder, choose a different folder. Let's go to my system, let's mount this. So now we've mounted this folder to this project. Let's go back here, get rid of this, make this back to a regular size, and let's say so I'm gonna tell it, look through the folders, look at the file, give me a prompt for Claude CLI to fix. While that's happening, I also have a domain that I bought for this project, One AI Builds. I bought the domain because in order to send emails to someone other than the owner with Resend, you have to validate your domain. So I bought the domain, oneaibuilds.com. And if you're looking for me, or if you want me to build this for you, please go to oneaibuilds.com and I will build it for you. Okay, so that should be a clean fix. The 420, because Embed's hammered count every low. See, this is what I thought. It says the 429 was because both Embed's hammered count on every page. Lazy init means the only fire when the user actually gets that section. Okay, so let's throw that into Claude and let's see what happens there. And then I want to set up Resend and validate my domain so I can send an email to a client when they fill out my form. So that's what I'm going to work on now while this is working. Let's go to Resend. And if we go here, oh, it's pretty cool. It shows all the emails that it has already sent. That's pretty cool. So if I go to my domains, this domain here, so you see I have records here I have to set in Netlify. So if I go to Netlify, I want to see my domains. Okay, DNS, blah, blah, blah. Here goes my domain. Okay, so basically I have to add new records. www.onebuilds.com. Okay, so for now, let's move this over here. Let's open this up. Okay, so we have to add these domains here. So let's add a record. Type is going to be text. Name will be resend dot domain key. Content I'm assuming content means value, so we'll go with that. And TTL is auto. That's optional. And so status is not started. Okay, so we're gonna save this. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna add a new record. Correct the following domain. So it didn't like the domain. Add will, okay. So the record I just added for some reason did not work. Wonder if I can I just, I'm wondering if I can just download it and set it up. Okay, maybe not. Can I just download you? Okay, maybe not. Okay, so domain verification. So let's just set it up. So let's do this again. Let's go add new record, txt. I don't know exactly. Add will automatically set one builds as the host name. I'm assuming this would go here. Name Resend. So I guess name is just a generic name that they're giving it. I don't think it actually matters. So I'm gonna save this. So we have that there. And then to enable sending, we need to add these. So let's do that. Let's add a new record. We need a MX record. I'm gonna leave it at my domain. Content is gonna be this. So we're gonna say this. And then auto TTL, priority there says a 10. And that's it. So I'm going to save this. Okay, so we added the MX. Let's add one more record. It's going to be another TXT record. I'm going to come here. It's going to be this. TTL is going to be auto. There's no priority, so we're going to save that. I apologize for all the noise, guys. There's construction actually happening around me and there's no way for me to get around it, so I apologize ahead of time for all this noise. Okay, so I've added all the records that it says to add, and if I bring this over here, let's see, verified DNS records. This may take a few hours depending on NAS1's propagation time. Okay, so I have my records set up on my domain, and as you can see here, it is checking DNS. So this may take some time, but it's currently working. So we're gonna say that this piece is okay and set up. So while that works, we go back to our calendar. Let's see what the CLI tells us. So the CLI is saying that it's actually ready. So let's refresh this page. Okay. Okay, so Claude CLI finished the update. Can we now test, and should we see the calendar on the landing page? I don't think any more setup is needed. This is why I ask. We should see it. I don't think there's anything else to set up. The fix looks solid, blah, blah, blah. You need to redeploy. Oh, that makes sense. Inline. Okay, so let's deploy this to Netlify. So let me go here. Let me go to Netlify. And let's go to oneaibuilds.com. Let me drop my file here. Okay, let's go for the file, browse for the file. There it goes. Let's open this up. Okay, so it's uploading the file. Let's let it upload, publish, fine. Let's go here. Okay, so we have that. Blah, blah, blah. Quickest deploy. Okay. One thing to keep in mind, if cows has not fully cleared yet, the embed may still fail. Give it at least an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, I think. So let's try it. Let's say this. Help. Okay, so we get a thank you, I'll be in touch. And we probably still have a 429, I'm assuming, coming from cow.com. We could see that in developer tools. Yeah, the server responded with a status of 429. Okay, so we're still getting a 429. Okay, that's pretty crappy. All right, so unfortunately, I guess cow.com put a stop from my domain because I guess I was doing lazy loading and it was hitting their servers over and over and over again. So that 429 means like, look, we're gonna stop for now and not let you continue to hit our servers. Okay, so Claude says there's another solution that we can place the calendar inline like this. So I mean, I'd rather go for this solution if it's going to prevent cow.com from rate limiting me. Okay, so if this is a solution, let's go for this. Let's go with the iFrame and let's let let's let that work, because it says here the endpoint has its own rate limit. This embed loader is what's getting blocked. Okay, so let's go with this. So let's see if this fixes it. So go to the CLI, paste this in, and let's give it a go. Let's see if this will fix it. It's kind of annoying because I don't think I've really hit cow.com that much, but then again, probably. Okay, so let's see. So outside of the calendar showing on the page and the resend emails being able to be sent to the clients, what else is outstanding for our build? Just the edge function changing, an email footer, that's it. 3 total items: resend, DNS verification, edge function footer, and then the calendar once that's done. So in order for this to be live and for us to be ready to, in order for us to say this is complete, we need to finish these few things. So we're very, very, very close. Once this is complete, I will be deploying it to my, actually it's already deployed, oneaibuilds.com. And if you do need me to set up this kind of system for you, please reach out. It's here. You can reach out to me via the website, and let's work together to build this same thing for your own company. Of course, customized to suit your needs, but this is what I offer. So if this is what you're looking for, please reach out. I'm going to be monitoring, and as I use my system more and more, I'll be tweaking it as I go and perfecting it. and just letting my users on YouTube know how it's going and what's working, what's not working, as I'm documenting my whole build and my whole process to leave the 9 to 5. So please, if you want to reach out to me, my URL is live, juanaibuild.com. Reach out. Okay, so this is done. So let's see if by adding cow.com embedded in an iFrame is going to work. Let's book a call. Yeah, I don't think Claude is correct. I think even in the iFrame, it's still not working, and that is a major roadblock, because I don't feel like we hit it so much. If someone rate limits you, I feel like you have to hit their server tons and tons of time, and I don't feel like we necessarily did that. But if I go to developer tools, you'll see that we have the 429. Clear the console. Let's do that again just to see. Start capturing leads. Please select the package. Okay, good validation. And so we see this, and let's see if we're getting that 429. And we are, so we're still being rate limited. And let me actually go to cow.com and let me see if I can see anything there that would help me understand this a little bit more. Okay, so it's saying a few things. It's saying that it's possible that my IP has been flagged. So let me ask. Can I sign into cow.com and see if I have been flagged and what the status is? Okay, so here is my cow.com. It says go to settings, developer API, settings, developer API. So appearance, features, compliance, password, webhooks. I don't see API. Okay, so let's go to billing. Let's see what it says for billing. So it doesn't really say much. Developer API keys. So oddly enough, it's saying create your first API key. Odd, because I thought I already did that. Actually, that's very odd. That could be the problem why it's 429ing me. So yeah, because it says I have no API keys. So that may be what the issue is. Bookings, availability, teams. If I were a betting man, I would say that's it. Insights, routing. Let's see. So developer, there's no API keys, so that I almost feel like that may be the plan. Let's go to manage billing just to see. You know, it really doesn't say much and a little bit somewhat annoying, but let's go and let's see. So it's going to Stripe for billing. And so, okay, that I don't, okay. Contact support, okay, so let's get out of this. Let's go back to the app. So I really think that is the issue. Like there is no API key set. So if I go to API keys, okay. So one thing I'm noticing with cal.com is that when I go to the site and I go to API key, there are no API keys created. So I don't know where it set up API key for me. I think that's the issue. I need a new API key. Okay, so it's telling me to redeploy my app to Netlify in order to see if the iFrame works. So let's say that. Let's go here. Let's deploy this once again to Netlify. Published. All right, let's give this a try and let's see if this is going to work. Book a free call. Yada yada. Help. Oh, there it goes. So Claude is actually right. There it goes. So I had to deploy it on the actual server for it to work. Okay, there you go. Let's look at how you're currently getting leads. It's 30. So this is my description. Let's look at how you're currently getting leads and where they're falling off. In 30 minutes, I'll tell you exactly where the system you need. No pitch, no pressure, just a straight answer. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. There we go. So we need to update this message. We don't want to say thanks, I'll be in touch in 24 hours. And this is the, so this certainly is the calendar. So let's pick a date. Let's say June 1st at 1 a.m. Looking forward to meeting. It does say Cal video. I'm not sure why, but let's confirm. The meeting is scheduled. We sent an email with a calendar invitation with the details to everyone. Juan Rodriguez and Juan Rodriguez. When, who, where, and all that good. Wow, very cool. Host, and then who. Did I put, I don't know how I got this email, but okay. So that actually works. So now let's go and let's see. Or really, it said that both got sent to Gmail. So, okay, let's actually go to Gmail and see. I have this microphone, this new microphone set up. You can see it right here. It's in my way. It's annoying, but I need it so that my voice sounds clearly. Okay, so let's go to apps. Actually, I think it's better if I set my microphone coming over and coming down. But anyways, so let's go to Gmail. And there we go. There we go. So we have the onboarding calls. We have cal.com. So an event has been scheduled. Juan is the organizer, and Juan is the so Juan and Juan, and this is, so I guess it is hosted through Cow, even though I picked Google Meets. Okay, so now we have our calendar working. So I'm gonna go back and I wanna submit that one more time the other way around. So refresh this page. I don't like this microphone. It's like right in my way. I can't even see my screen. It's annoying. So I have to figure out a better spot to put this mic. Okay, so it doesn't matter for your case. Suddenly affects the video. Okay, so let's start capturing leads. Let's say Michael Jackson 4@yahoo.com. So that's the email I want. Let's pick a number, maintenance. Let's go. Select the package. Let's go with system. Let's go. And there you go. Kickoff call. So let's select a time just for giggles. Oh, right there it goes, the email address. So it re-asked me for my email address. I kind of don't like that, but that's okay. Let's confirm. And there we go. So the only thing is that I want to make sure that the website gives enough space for the cow to show without a scroll bar. As you can see, that I don't want. But the meeting has been scheduled. If I go to yahoo.com, which is my, there we go, we got it. What I don't necessarily like, or was one from earlier. They're both from 9/17. So that's a little weird to me, because I would expect one to go to Yahoo. I would expect one to go to Yahoo and one to go to Gmail, and there is one in Gmail. Okay, so I'm a little unsure about that part, because we got two. I received two emails here, so I gotta look at that a little closer. Okay, so this is obviously for the client, and then this, and this is for okay, so this is, I don't understand why this happened. I'm gonna have to look into this a little closer. Still though, it's working. Like, it's working. Let me do this one more time, just for my own thoughts. Book a free call. Okay. So let's say, okay, so my email there is Don Juan help. So we booked the free call. Okay, and now we have to, now it's saying schedule. Okay. So it's saying your name and your email address. So let me change this to look looking forward to it. Okay. So right now, if a user submits a I'm ready, or if they submit a book a free 30-minute call, the message says, thanks, I'll be in touch within 24 hours. Can we change this to say, like, I don't know, to say, we received your information, please schedule a meeting below? And then when they schedule a meeting with the cow.com, can you make the iFrame height taller? Right now it's being cut off and there's a scroll bar, and I don't want the scroll bar. Also, for the cow.com entry, it's asking the user for the email address again. We already asked for that up front earlier. Can we pre-populate their name and their email address in the cow.com page or form? All right, so let's see what happens here. Let me plug in my machine. Trying to get this mic out of my way. It's a real pain. Okay, let's see if that works better. I can actually see my screen much better now. Okay, so change both dibs. They currently say replace it with please schedule your meeting below. Okay, that's better. Okay, it's gonna change that. Okay, and pre-populate the name and email. Yes, I don't want the user having to enter their information twice. It feels odd. Okay, let's copy this and let's see if we can get that to work. And then once we get that to work, I think the only other question I have, or the only other real issue I have, is that right now it's saying Asia Manila. I think that's why I probably got two separate emails. So it basically sent the user an email in my time, and then it rescheduled it for the American time. So I want this to be in America time, not Asia Manila time. So that's probably the last piece I have to set up. Once that's set up, I'm happy. I'm happy with everything. We have a landing page. I have a landing page. I have a system. And I have everything I need now to start making this offer, start putting this offer out to people. I'm very happy, and we're very close. I think this video ended up being very long, so it potentially may be a 3-series video. I don't know. Once I do the editing, I'll see, but in 3 videos, roughly 3 hours, I have a system for myself to capture leads and to put out my offer to the world. So let's get through these last final steps. I'm going to be very, very, very happy and very content. So let's refresh this. Oh my. Actually, I think it's more than just refreshing this. I think I have to actually put this on my Netlify page. So actually, let me go to Netlify. That's what I forget. I forget that I actually have this already deployed live, and it's not just on my local host. So let's go to Netlify. Let's pick the file. Okay, let's get it out there. File is uploaded. All right, let's go back here and let's see what we got. Let's say I want to start capturing leads. I want the best offer someone could potentially give me for now. Let's say Juan Rodriguez. My email is donjuan@yahoo.com. Phone number. Let's say I don't want support. Let's say YouTube. Let's say get started. There we go. So this is much better. We received your information. Please schedule your meeting below. Okay, and then okay, so here's the thing. There is a thing here. So I'm gonna have to think about this piece. But so you've picked your package. Now let's get to work. This call is where we map out your system, confirm your tools, and set a build time. Come ready to talk about your audience, your offer, and how leads are currently coming in. Okay, so, oh, and now I can't scroll at all. Okay, so the reason for that is that cal.com embedded kind of does its own thing. So, okay, but here's the good news. It did populate with Juan Rodriguez and Don Juan 9744. So that being the case, I'm gonna want it to also populate any additional notes and say confirm. So the user, this is gonna pop up and the user just has to confirm. So let's confirm. There it goes. There it goes. So the one issue I have is that I'm not really seeing the full calendar when a user submits. Oh, so here it goes. So this one should send correctly. The host is Gmail and the guest is me. So now if I look in my Gmail, I have, okay, so I have a kickoff. Okay, so I have a kickoff. Very cool. So that worked. So as the owner, I get two emails. I got a kickoff and I got a new lead ready to buy. So that was me, foundation, how they heard, YouTube. Okay, so it's okay. 2 minutes ago. Onboarding at research.dev. This I don't like. So if you notice, it's sending me, it did send me a new invite, but it's 3 emails. So I guess Resend does it this way where they're just sending you another email. I don't know if I like that. I would prefer a brand new email without these other emails. Support add-on maintenance. Okay, so I may have to look at this a little bit closer, but I am getting notified. So this will be on my takeaway list. I have to think about this. Okay, onboarding, and if I go to yahoo.com, I should see, as the client, I should see. So I don't know why it's just sending me 2 emails. And they're at the same time, 9:27. Why am I getting 2 emails? Your kickoff call with one is confirmed for Wednesday. I don't, your event has been scheduled. I don't understand why I'm getting the email twice. And so this one, your kickoff call with Juan Rodriguez is, and this one has been so I'm getting one because I'm getting a regular one and a reschedule. So let me ask Google why. Let me ask Claude why. So when a user submits a form and they select a date on the calendar, I'm receiving two emails as the client. One saying my meeting was done, and then I get another saying it was rescheduled. Why is this happening? I think it's because of the time, 1 to 1:30 Asia Manila, and then it comes back, and here, if you notice, the time is Eastern. Yeah, reschedules to Tuesday, June 2nd, June 1st. So there's something weird happening with the time, and I believe that's why I'm receiving two emails. So here, Claude is saying the cause is because I have the source hard-coded. Okay, so I thought it may have been due to... So I can fix that with Claude CLI, but in one email it shows me Asia Manila time, in the second email rescheduled it's Eastern time. So is there any weirdness about the dates that may be coming into play, or do you really think it's just the website at this point? Okay, that makes sense. So I'm working through a VPN and my time is Eastern time. So on the form I selected Asia, which is my first submission, but then my site is sending a second submission, which is going based off my Eastern time. Okay, fixed. Okay, so let's fix this double email, because I definitely do not want to be sending two emails to my user. And let me actually delete all these emails, because they're starting to clog up my box and cause confusion. So let's delete all of those. Let's go here. Let's do the same thing. Let's delete all of these. So on our next run, we can see fresh what's happening and not be so confused with all the submissions. I apologize for all the noise, guys. Like, a lot of construction going on around here, and I want to record this video and get it out because I want to consistently get videos out every day, and I'm very excited that I found my offer and I'm building it together with everyone on YouTube. So please forgive the noise. I hope this mic isn't catching it, but I'm sure it is, and I'm sorry for that. Okay. So nothing to change. This is already correct. Okay, so let me... So see, Claude is saying everything is fine. Okay, so Claude is fighting with Claude at this point. One is saying we need to do this. The other Claude is saying no, it's correct. Who's going to win? I don't know. What I know is I don't want 2 emails sent for every submission, so we need to fix this. Form submitting twice. Enabled for the organized account miscategorized the shipping and schedule. Let's do both. Let's do both. Give me the prompt for Claude CLI. I will then go and look at cal.com settings. All right, so we're gonna do both. Let's tell Claude CLI to check what it's saying, and then after that, let's let's go check. Let's check the cal.com settings and see. So let's throw this in here and see. And then if we go to cal.com, okay, what are we looking for in cal.com? Log into Cal. Okay, let's go to the app. Event types, your event. Event types, notifications tab. My event, notifications tab. I don't see a notifications tab. Availability perhaps. Limits, recurring, webhooks, basics. I don't see a notification tab. Okay, so let's get off of this. And let's see, maybe it's a generic setting. Duplicate, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Let me just get rid of these because I don't need them. Preview, link to event, options, edit, duplicate, troubleshoot. Where is the, it's saying cal.com, login, the events, your event check if email or info organizer. Advanced perhaps. Okay, add okay. Check if schedule emails are enabled for the organizer. Okay, oh, we can even pick the layout for multiple. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now booking through reschedule. Okay, so basically it says use add to calendar email as the organizer. With 50 emails organized and confirmation, we'll display this email as the organizer. Add to calendar. So session. So they're not enabled. So they're not. So I think I'm okay there. Sample rescheduling. Okay, so let's I'm gonna let that go for now. I'm gonna assume that this is the correct fix. So you see 4 edits, nothing else touched, confirmed. No changes in it. Submitting already, okay. Okay, so I made a change. So let's go to Netlify and let's see if we can. Let's upload the change and we'll give it a go and we'll see. Okay, it's been published. Let's take a look. If I look at my emails real quick, I don't see anything there. I don't see anything here, which is good. Let me actually close some of these because I have too many open. Okay, start fresh. Book a free call. 30-minute schedule. Okay, perfect. Let's go for June 3rd. Let's go there. Let's confirm. Okay, so there we go. The meeting has been scheduled. Guest, host, okay, let's see. So onboarding. So this is from the form on the landing page. So we got our onboarding. This is from cal.com saying a meeting has set. So this is right. This part looks good. A new event has been scheduled. Perfect. On this side, I'm expecting one email. There we go. Okay. So now the double email is working. So you see we only have one email sent to the client, which was my Don Juan 9744. It's scheduled for blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to look at before we stop, and that is the calendar gets cut off. Okay, so now the user just gets one email, and I receive both emails from my form and from Calendly as the owner. When the user's selecting the date on Calendly or on cal.com, the month is cut off, so it's not showing the full month. Can we make sure that the whole widget for cal.com shows correctly? So let's go to the CLI. Let's add this. And I do believe this may be the last change for the day. I'm very happy with what we have so far. Basically my complete landing system, my complete system is set up. Everything is here and it's fully functional and fully working. So I'm very excited about this, and I'm looking forward to getting this out into the world. And once again, if you're a small business, if you have whatever your business is, if you need a system to capture your leads, follow up emails, schedule emails, I can set that system up for you, and you can go to my website and schedule it, and let's do it. Okay, so that is done. So let's go to, let me close all these extra tabs. Let me get rid of all this. Get rid of all these things. Let's get rid of that. So as the owner, I'm getting two emails. This is from my website and basically saying, look, you got a new onboarding request. And this is from cal.com saying you haven't, so saying you got a new request. So this is correct. Okay, so let us get this uploaded. Okay, here we go. Let's do it one more time. Let's see what this looks like. Let's say I want to start capturing leads. I want the machine level. Let's say this is Charles Barkley. I want the full support. YouTube. Let's get started. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So it was a little slow there. However, you can see the whole calendar is shown. We received your information. Please schedule your meeting below. 30 minutes. Let's pick this. It's still kind of cut off, as you can see. And there it goes, meeting schedule. Okay, so I still see that the times are cut off, so let me fix that. So now the calendar shows correctly, but cal.com will let you select the date on the calendar, and then it'll add times below it. It's kind of dynamic. So we need to make sure that we have enough space to show the time when it dynamically comes into the picture after a date is selected. Also, once the user hits submit, if we can scroll the main meeting is scheduled back into focus. Okay, so while that works, we got an email. Okay, so as you can see, for location description. So for booking a call with me, it works. You just get one. When you do okay, so you can see what's happening. So it works now for book a free call. When you do start capturing leads, you're still getting 2 emails as the customer. So I'm going to fix this, and then I'm going to do another prompt and say what I just said. So the book a free call is working. It sends one email to the customer. For start capturing leads, it looks like it's still sending 2 emails once a customer selects a schedule. So can we fix it also for start capturing leads? We want just 1 email sent to the customer. Okay, so let's let that work. Okay, so Claude CLI has finished with his 2 edits. Let's see what between, okay, so this is what I suspected. The fix wasn't applied between the 2 forms, and that's exactly what I'm seeing. So let's give this to CLI. Let's have CLI fix it. And then we're going to deploy this, and we're going to give it one last run. And I think at this point, I'm happy with what I have. The user can either book a free call, they can start capturing leads, they can see the prices, and I'm happy with what I have. I think this is enough of an offer for me to get out in front of people. I don't know if I'm going to do ads or not. I'm on the fence about doing ads. Possibly, maybe I'll do Facebook ads, maybe set a budget of $30 a month and just kind of see what happens. I have to think about that still. I'm not 100% sure. But right now I need to figure out how you can generate traffic to this site. Hopefully YouTube will generate some traffic to my site. If not, maybe the cold calling will generate traffic to my site. Not cold calling. Well, yeah, cold calling. I still plan to start reaching out to coaches online, people on Instagram, people on LinkedIn who are small businesses who need this service. You know, this was my first step, was setting up my offer. Now that I have my offer, my cold call is still happening. I'm going to start using my scrapers to get a list of potential clients, start going to their site and start trying to engage them and see, you know, who needs this and who's willing to pay for it. So that's the hard work, is having those conversations and doing the sell. So this was just step 1, which is making the offer and making sure I have my system and process in place to handle anyone who reaches out to me or is looking for this kind of solution. So going forward, now that this is ready, I'm going to continue creating my YouTube content, continue documenting the journey, but I'm also going to continue cold calling leads I find myself on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, LinkedIn, and I'm going to start reaching out to them and saying, hey, look, this is what I can offer. Do you need it? Let's talk. Let's see where that goes. Okay, so that's complete. Let's deploy this to Netlify. Let me actually get rid of both of these so we have a good fresh start. The same thing here. Let's get rid of both of these. Okay, and all these too, because we really don't want none of these. We want to make sure that everything is fresh. Delete. Let's go here. Let's upload our file. File is uploaded. Let's take a look. Start capturing leads. I want this system. Madonna. Optional, so we'll leave it blank. Let's say no thanks on this. Let's say Facebook. Let's get started. We received the information. Please schedule your meeting below. Okay, we could okay, so I see what's happening. It's not that cal.com isn't showing the time. It is. It's just the time is not in view. So let me actually take a picture of this. Okay, so let's select a time, let's hit confirm. Okay, the meeting is scheduled. Okay, there we go. So I have the two. So one is from my form, the landing page, cal.com. And I still have two. As the customer. Okay. All right, so we're close. This is the joy of what we do, of what I do. This is the joy of it. It's back and forth, and even if I were writing this by hand and developing the old school way, it's the same thing. It's no different. So let's see what it says. Okay. Do not touch form 2 for anything. Okay, so let's do this and let's see what happens, and hopefully we'll be able to fix this now. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to fix this now. Otherwise, I may just call it a day and just set up and just do another part of this, because honestly, I'm kind of tired. I was hoping to get this done in one night, and my night is closely coming to an end. So it may take me another morning to get this done. Let's see. But we've accomplished a lot today. I mean, everything is pretty much wired up and working. The only kind of weirdness is this calendar, which, now that I think about it, I wouldn't mind sending the person to a new page to set up the calendar. Might not be a bad idea, because then I would avoid all this weird scrolling and all this stuff. Let me ask Claude that. So one question, would it be easier to send the calendar invite to a new page? Would we avoid all these issues that we're facing now, or would we get the same kind of weird double email sending? Let's see what it says. Okay, so Claude says that it fixed it. So let's go ahead and deploy this on Netlify. It says separate page would actually solve most of the issues. No iFrame, no dynamic outcome, renders at full size natively. Guard is fixed. The double emails just took JS bug in the current page. Gives you better, but you still need the double submit fix regardless. Okay, let's see if it's fixed. Let's deploy what we have now. We'll give it a look and we'll see if it's fixed. So let's go here, let's upload it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it fixes, great. If not, I think I may want to just open in its own page so that just so that it's much a better experience for the user. Okay, so let's go here. Start capturing leads. I want the machine. Donald Trump. Don Juan 44 at yahoo.com. This TikTok. And before I do that, I want to make sure I get rid of these two so we don't get confused. Let me go here. Get rid of these two. Okay, so everything is selected, yada yada yada. Let's get started. Receive the information. Okay, there we go. So right off bat, what I do like is that at least now the whole component is shown on screen. So you see here, you know, the user can scroll down and pick their date and time. I like this much better. So let's say the 12th at 1:30. Confirm here. Okay, and there we go. So it's now confirmed. Okay. Let's go to Google. We got 2, which is expected, and Yahoo for the client. We still have 2. What a bummer. Let me see if that's still happening for. Let me see if I don't think that's happening if you do. If you do just just the meeting. So let's refresh this page. Okay. Who are we? We're Donald Duck. Yahoo.com. Help. Okay, so let's do this one just to see. We received your information. Cool. Okay, so weird. So now for this form, you can see that it's still cut off. So it's fixed for the I'm ready, and it's broke for the book 30 minutes. Anyways, I'll fix this, but let's go with this. It does pre-populate these, so let's say okay. And there we go. So meeting is submitted. Okay, we got 2 as expected. And we have 0 for Yahoo. Yeah, what a pain in the ass. So if I go back to the website, confirm I put Don Juan 97, so it is the correct email. But as you can see, I got nothing. Wow. I got the emails for Gmail. Or did I? I got an onboarding. So actually, I didn't get any. Let's look at developer tools and make sure I'm not rate limited again. If I am, that's going to be very, very, that's like, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so I deployed the latest change and now I'm just receiving errors in general. So I'm not even receiving any of the calendar invites. What a bummer. Oh, so there it goes. I lied. So it was a little bit late. I lied. Wait. Stop. Okay, so it's here. So it was just late for some reason, and this happens. Okay, so all right, so I take that back. And there it goes. Okay, so for whatever reason, cal.com just took a little longer there. So I take it back. So that's a good thing. So now it's working correctly for both forms. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I lied. So now it is working correctly for both forms. Or actually, was that the book of free? I think that was. I'm just dreary. I'm getting confused at this point. That works for book a free call. So let's refresh, and I want to make sure that works for capturing leads. And if that does work, there's only one more update to make. So let's go to capture leads. Okay, select a couple dates here, just confirm, and we will patiently wait here to see what cal.com does. Okay, so you see here the onboarding came and the kickoff call came. Okay, so now we're in good shape. So now it's working correctly for both forms. We get one email for the customer, 2 for the owner of the owner of the landing page, which is me. I'm happy, things are working. The last update I need to make is for book a 30-minute call, the time is still cut off. Okay, so both forms are now working correctly. They send one email to the customer and 2 emails to the owner as expected. The last update I need to make is the book a free 30-minute call times are getting cut off. So can you make the size of it, the height of it, the same as the I'm ready form? Okay, so I think this is going to be the last change. I think we're good to go. It was a little frustrating, but that's the nature of the beast if you live in my world. And those of you who work in tech know the nature of the beast. And sometimes things go easy. Sometimes there's very small things that'll take you 20 hours. So cal.com seems to be one of those things. All right, so I got rid of everything. Okay, let's give this to the CLI, and hopefully this is the last change. And if this works, I'm gonna be confident saying that I have showed you guys how to build my own landing page, my first offer, and I can build the same thing for anyone who needs it. I can customize for you. We can do different things. We can use ManyChat. If you look at my packages, ManyChat is included on the second tier, meaning that, you know, ManyChat will be enabled. I can enable Stripe in the second tier. So if this is something you need, please reach out, work with me, and you won't go through this full process I just went through, but we'll have the discovery call and make sure I know what you need. Before we meet, I will send you a simple form to fill out just to give me a general idea of color scheme and some of the basic things for your landing page. We'll meet, I'll knock this out. You know, you'll have your funnel, your process, your system up in fairly short order. A few days and you'll be good to go. All right, so it looks like CLI is done. So I'm gonna go right to Netlify. Just go ahead and upload this project again. Okay, now let's see how this looks. Make sure I have the emails deleted so we don't see. Okay, good to go. Let's go to oneaibuilds.com. Book a free call. I just seen an interview with Hulk Hogan. Let's put my email in there. Let's just say, let's chat. Book my 30-minute audit. There we go. So now the time is included. It's not cut off anymore. Let's select one, select the time, confirm. And there we go. There we go. So now both are working correctly. Let's go to the inbox here. So the onboarding has been sent. Cal was just sent. This is correct. And one email for the customer. You're scheduled for a free 30-minute audit with blah, 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 blah. Let's look at how you're currently getting leads and where they're falling off in 30 minutes. Exactly what system you need. No pitch, no pressure. Okay, there we go. So there it is. There it is. In one night, I've set up my full system. My system will capture leads for me. It will schedule appointments with my leads. And then the next step that I'm going to set up for myself, which I'm not going to do tonight because I'm very tired, but the next step would be me setting up the email sequences. So the one email sequence that's missing now is the email to the customer when they first sign up. So when a customer first fills out this form, I also want to send them an email from my landing page saying, hey, we received your request. Then they'll also get another one from cal.com when they do the schedule. That's the first email. The second email automation is going to be if I have a user who set a meeting with me, I probably want to send them an email 6 hours, 7 hours before the meeting, kind of as a reminder for the customer. If I have customers who, let's say, they sign up but they don't set a schedule to meet me, I'll have another email sequence where it'll detect that, and it will send the email out to those users saying, hey, look, I noticed you have a schedule, yada, yada, yada. And I think that will be the next thing I do to my system. And I will record that on YouTube, and I'll record when I set that up. But for now, I have an offer. I can pitch to people. I can capture their information. I can set up meetings for them. And I have a platform that will let me meet with them and talk with them on video. So I'm very happy with my system. I'm very happy with what I set up. It's just going to get better from here. However, if you like the content, please follow. It's not easy to do, but I'm committed to hustling every day in order to make the money I want to make. I want to make $5,000 per month. My goal is to leave my job January of 2027. And so I'm going to work very hard to try to make that happen. And this is my first step, my offer, my landing page. And if this is something that you need, let's work together and let's get it done. So thank you. Thank you for watching me for this series, and stay tuned for the next video and subscribe.